Excellent, thank you. Welcome to the April 24th, 2019 NEMSIS version 3 implementation call. I'm Julianne Ehlers. Please excuse Clayman and Lisa Young today. They will jump on if at all possible. We're going to jump right in with support material and video production update. You should all be able to see the agenda on your screen. And I'm going to actually change that screen. And hopefully now you can see the NEMSIS main page. So we've had lots of discussions about support material and video production. I want to show you where the videos are and how you can access those. If you start at the nemsis.org website, you can just go up to the YouTube link and it's going to take you straight to our website or our YouTube site. Now I'm going to put out a shameless plug right now. We need a few more subscribers so that I can update this URL. YouTube is insisting that I have 100 subscribers before I can give it a custom URL. So I'm promoting that. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. We don't post a whole lot of crazy stuff. So as you can see on the NEMSIS YouTube website, we've got the implementation calls, and then that was our most recent one. And then we have the videos from the DataCube primer series that we've been uploading. You can go to all the videos and see everything that's there. You can go to playlists and just see the implementation calls and the DataCube primer public trainings and state trainings. So let me show you on this last, that's not the last one. Let's go back again. I'm going to show you on the April 10th call. One of the requests was to do some time stamping so that these calls were a little bit easier to navigate when you needed to just go back in and find a certain piece of information that we discussed. And so in the description, we've added agenda time stamping. And if you're not familiar with YouTube time stamping, you can just click directly on that link and it's going to take you right to that position in the video. So if you just want to look at the changes to the EMSDem and state data set that Laurel talked about on the last call, you can just click and it's going to take you right there. So those will be added to each of the uploaded videos just for your ease in navigating that information. And we hope that's helpful to you. We will also have some more info sheets coming out and some more videos. We are planning to do videos and info sheets, but I wanted to get a little bit of feedback from you guys on whether, let's take, for example, one of your requests was an info sheet on high-level changes, so that as you talk to your data managers and as you talk to the other decision makers, you're able to just show an easy snapshot of high-level changes from the version 3.4 to 3.5. My question to you is an info sheet an easier thing, a more usable tool for you than a video? Do you want one or the other, or do you want both? And that's got a big question mark on the end of it. So I'd love some feedback on that, either from the chat or if somebody wants to unmute and tell me what they think about that, I would appreciate that.
This is Jay in Wyoming. Just a suggestion, and because we're trying to roll this out differently here, is that sheet would be very helpful. That way you could create PowerPoint slides and discuss it with people. If we're going out and training folks, showing a video on YouTube, it doesn't make us look very good. So having that other information would be very beneficial, in my humble opinion.
Chuck,
very helpful, Jay. Thank you.
I would concur with that too. Chuck from Wisconsin.
Chuck. Okay. So do you want these info sheets to be easily translatable into a PowerPoint presentation? Because I can send them out as PDFs, but then you're you don't have a lot of options for translating that into a PowerPoint.
Yeah, if it was available in PowerPoint, it would save me a lot of time. I'm sitting here going through this right as we speak because I have to teach this for the next couple days out of town. And yeah, finding my information and stuff like that's just been a little bit of a challenge. However, Monet, just so you know, has been a goddess helping me out on some of this stuff. So she deserves a Snickers bar whenever you have a free moment.
Excellent. Monet is super helpful, and we appreciate that shout out, Jay. And she totally needs a Snickers bar or some extra brownie points or something. I'll advocate for that.
Okay.
Any other input as far as what's actually usable for you guys when you're looking at rolling out this transition into 3.5? All right. So as things come up, as you have these discussions like Jay and Chuck are working on, and you see that there's a tool or some support that you need, please feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to help, and we want to make that, we want to be that support to you so that as you're doing that front end work, you've got the materials and the tools and the information that you need to accomplish that. Okay, Mark asks if we have an updated timeline. The timeline is still, let's go back to the timeline has not changed from what it was before. So if you go to that, oh, and I just kind of went through that pretty fast. So if you click on from the main page, follow the 3.5 revision here, when will the changes take place? The timeline is on the website, and Laurel, I'm going to let you jump in real quick. Is on the timeline, are there any changes to that?
No, we're still on track for a candidate release to come out at the end of May. We've published a sort of a draft version of the data dictionary, but we're still working on it. I'm still working on sample data. Josh is still working on schematron, but we should have everything ready by the end of May, as planned.
Mark, does that answer your question? All right, let's go ahead and have Laurel. I'm going to go ahead and let you take it over. I'm going to stop sharing and then let you take that on so that you can move into the next item on the agenda, the review of the oxygen-based API.
Okay, let's see, share. All right, so y'all should see the front page of the NEMSIS website. Let me know if you can't. So I've been working to get some drafts of documents online for the candidate release coming up at the end of May. You can find those on this 350 revision link. And we added just a new button, View Draft V350 Deliverables. And this is where we're going to put all of the stuff we're working on so you all can view it and send us feedback as we work through it. We'll probably have a different page when we have the official candidate release. So if you click through on that link, you can see that this may have changed from the last time you saw it. It used to have three cute little buttons across the top here. But as I've added stuff, I found that it was necessary to change it to a not as attractive looking list because the things that we finished are growing. So today, what I wanted to share was the APIs or the sort of visual schema documentation that we've provided in the past. We talked about this on the last call. The previous way we had done this, we didn't really have access to the same software, so we were looking at some alternatives, and this is one alternative that we were considering, and it was something that was created by the Oxygen XML editor. And I don't know if any of you out there have used it, or if this sort of documentation is more familiar or less familiar to our old API, but we did publish a version of this new one. And if anyone wants to take a look through it or click around and see if it provides the same sort of information. So far in my use of it, I've found that it's same information, just maybe located in slightly different places, maybe organized a little bit differently. So please take a look at that, and I welcome any feedback you have on this in particular, any part of the 350 revision. I just want to add that we're still working on it. I just 10 minutes ago found a mistake in one of the codes in eHistory, so I'm still making updates and I'm still polishing everything off. So I definitely welcome any feedback, and we're still a work in progress, but we should be done soon. Yes, if anyone has any questions or comments about this, definitely happy to respond to those now. Silence. All right, well, I'm going to put my email in the chat. If anyone does have any questions or comments about this or anything related to the new 3.5 stuff that's coming out, please let me know. Once we get to the final release, it's set in stone for like the next 5 years. So if I spelled any words wrong, I would really love to catch that before I have to live with the shame of a 5-year-long typo or whatever. Code changes, problems. And everyone who's already sent me feedback, thank you so much for that. And thanks to everyone who contributed to help come up with all these revisions and make all these smart decisions. It's really impressive the amount of thought and effort that's gone into just being really conscious as to how we should change the standard to better collect data and make it easier on EMS and more effective for all of us to get to analyze it. So thank you all for that. If no one has any feedback, I guess we can move on to the next item. Okay, Julianne, what am I talking about next here?
Next up is the final decision regarding process of software retesting under 3.5.
Okay, great, thanks. So we talked about this on the last call, that we were thinking about having a recertification timeline under 3.5 because we'd noticed that some vendor software has changed over the years as it has been updated, which is not unusual. And after some discussions, both on the call and off the call, we're thinking about our decision is a 2-year revision cycle. So every 2 years, you'll have to go through some sort of recertification process to maintain your compliance under 3.5. So when it comes out when we open compliance in November of this year, everyone can apply and complete it, but then 2 years after, you'll have to do a recertification to prove that your software is still compliant. And I'm not really sure on what the recertification will look like yet. It will be easier than the original compliance testing, I'm sure. And we'll probably have some sort of way that if you can prove that your software has not gone through any major revisions, that you don't have to do much or any testing at all. We're still sort of working that out, but that is the plan. Again, if anyone has any comments or feedback or complaints about that, I would welcome them here or via email.
Hi, this is Samantha with ESO. And would that be a recertification on every version that NEMSIS accepts? So if you're accepting both 3.4 and 3.5, would you have to recertify every 2 years on both of those?
No. So this would only be for the new version.
Only for the new version.
We're pretty committed to not making any major sweeping changes to 3.4 and 3.4 in terms of any of the process. I think that our goal is to really just, implement changes moving forward. So 3.5 and on. And
okay, thanks.
as usual, if this turns out to be ineffective or too much of a burden, we will find some other way to ensure that software is compliant. All right, well, I am going to pass back to you, Julianne, because I think that's everything I have.
All right, thank you. Let's go back to the agenda. This is your opportunity as an open forum. Any questions or concerns that you may have, happy to address those here if you would like. As you think of things that will be helpful to you in rolling out the 3.5 implementation, please let us know. Reach out to Laurel, myself, Monet, Clay, Lisa, any of the partners that are at the Technical Assistance Center. We're happy to help you and support you in any way that we can. The next meeting for this group is May 8th, and please look for the calendar invite and agenda. Also, if there are issues that you would like addressed on the May 8th agenda, please let us know, and we're happy to discuss that issue or to do some training or whatever you need for that. Is there anything else before we close this call at this incredibly efficient time of 18 minutes? All right. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will talk to you on May 8th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.